Delulu Lively is so delulu that she has just filed a motion to be dismissed from Justin Baldoni's lawsuit. Hello, my friend. Perez Hilton here, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and this just dropped. I am reacting to it in real time. Let's work through it together. Reading from the motion to dismiss, it says, the Wayfarer Party's vengeful and rambling lawsuit against rambling? It was very thorough. They even had a timeline. Receipts, proof, timeline. A lawyer for No Receipts Lively says, quote, rambling lawsuit against Blake Lively is a profound abuse of the legal process that has no place in federal court. The law prohibits weaponizing defamation lawsuits like this one to retaliate against individuals who have filed legal claims or have publicly spoken out about sexual harassment and retaliation. But what if none of that happened? The right to seek legal redress and the right of the press to report on it are sacred principles that are protected by multiple privileges, including the litigation and fair report privileges, which are absolute. Moreover, by choosing to bring their claims under California law, the Wayfarer parties have voluntarily subjected their entire lawsuit to the sexual harassment privilege in the recently enacted California Civil Code section, which bars retaliatory lawsuits based on public disclosures of sexual harassment and related allegations, including disclosures to the press. Wait, I'm confused here. He filed his lawsuit in New York. What do they refer? Did I misremember it? I just went and looked at the amended complaint and it says United States District Court, Southern District of New York. What? If somebody could explain that to me, please do in the comments section. It's New York, not California. Her motion continues. Given all of these protections, the Wayfarer Party's chief complaint that Miss Lively and others supposedly conspired with the New York Times is barred as matter of law. She was legally entitled to file her complaint and disclose it to the public. I'm bummed that Ryan Reynolds did not write this one. This is so dry and boring. He most likely wrote his motion to dismiss. On top of that, Section 47.1, which they already mentioned, contains a mandatory fee-shifting provision that will require the Wayfarer parties to pay not only Miss Lively's attorney's fees, but also treble damages and punitive damages if and when their defamation lawsuit is dismissed. The likelihood of that happening, slim to none. In other words, in an epic self-own, the Wayfarer parties have created more liability for themselves by their malicious efforts to sue Miss Lively into oblivion. Steve Sarowitz, the billionaire co-founder of his production company, may indeed make good on his threat to spend $100 million litigating against Miss Lively, but perhaps not in the way he planned. Okay, this just got better. Among its many additional incurable defects, the first amended complaint does not allege a single element of defamation or false light claims properly, starting with the failure to allege defamatory statements with specificity, instead lumping all plaintiffs' claims together as an impermissible group pleading. Brushing aside the obvious problem, the Wayfarer parties have repeatedly asserted in recent filings that their claims against all the consolidated defendants, including Miss Lively, arise from two principal categories of defamatory statements. Allegations that Mr. Baldoni and Mr. Heath engaged in sexual misconduct toward Miss Lively, and allegations that the Wayfarer parties orchestrated a retaliatory smear campaign to damage Lively's image and reputation after she reported their purported misconduct. That's what they claim she did, spreading those false allegations they perceive. Her motion to dismiss continues. This admission is fatal to their claims, as these two principal categories make clear the only alleged wrongdoing the first amended complaint attributes to Miss Lively stems from her speaking up about harassment and retaliation, which is firmly protected by each of the litigation, fair report, and sexual harassment privileges. In any event, the bulk of the Wayfarer party's reputation-based claims are time-barred because the FAC expressly admits that Miss Lively first published her allegedly defamatory sexual harassment claims in her 17-point list in November 2023. More than a year before the Wayfarer parties initiated this action, and thus outside the one-year statute of limitations. But the New York Times article was published in December of last year, just a few months ago. And as for their menacing $400 million damages claim, the Wayfarer parties do not even try to explain its basis, much less specifically allege their so-called injuries. Yet another of the FAC's insurmountable deficiencies is its utter failure to allege actual malice. That Miss Lively subjectively did not believe the sexual harassment allegations she raised. Other than many pages of empty bluster, the FAC not only fails to allege actual malice, it pleads just the opposite by demonstrating her good faith beliefs. Among other things, the FAC incorporates by reference a damning text message between Mr. Baldoni and Miss Nathan, in which both agree that Mr. Lively, typo, genuinely believes she's right and that all of this is unjust. An admission which the FAC cannot overcome. In lieu of concrete facts, the first amended complaint resorts to implausible conjecture and conspiracy theories to allege that Miss Lively falsified her allegations. On the one hand, the Wayfarer parties insist that Miss Lively is an immensely powerful Hollywood superstar who, along with her influential husband, wielded power to steal creative control over the film. But on the other hand, they claim she was so powerless that the only way she could have any power was by manufacturing sexual harassment allegations almost a year in advance in a Machiavellian long game. These two concepts contradict each other and therefore cannot coexist. As for the FAC's other claims, it is unclear whether a civil extortion claim exists under California law, but even if it does, the nature of the alleged extortion is so convoluted that it cannot survive. Miss Lively's supposed threats to reveal her sexual harassment claims if the Wayfarer parties did not give in to her demands for creative control of the movie, threats which are never identified anywhere in the FAC because they never happened. Indeed, the FAC's self-defeating claim appears to be that Miss Lively bullied her way into doing more work, editing, than she was contractually obligated to do without additional compensation. While Wayfarer profited handsomely from the movie's blockbuster success, Wayfarer did not pursue any legal action against Miss Lively for this supposed extortion until after she filed her legal claims, which speaks volumes about this lawsuit's purpose. In short, nothing in the FAC resembles an actionable legal claim. The court should dismiss and have him pay her legal fees, they argue. And there is more. Stay tuned for a part 2. Come back for that. Until then, thoughts on what we've discussed in this video? I think the likelihood of a judge dismissing her is slim to none. How about you? Let's talk in the comments section.